Hi, I'm here today with Steve Shoaff, CEO of Unbound ID. Hi, Steve.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Would you mind introducing yourself and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Steve. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Unbound ID. Unbound ID is a company dedicated to helping service providers, telcos, banks, insurance companies, really any business with a large number of end users, better leverage the customer data in real time at scale to deliver all sorts of new and interesting business models.
And that's something we've obviously been doing a lot of work on in the market in general and with the World Economic Forum.
Right.
But you're in the reality of this. What's the big issue? What's the big problem that telcos in particular face with this all, do you think?
Well, yeah, it's a great question. So telcos are very interesting to me. They both have so much opportunity ahead of them, but they're so challenged to take advantage of it. You know, on the one hand, telcos have a very large install base of users, but an increasing cost of delivering services, some unique threats from the over-the-top providers and other folks, declining revenues in the traditional segments of voice and data, and also just some general customer satisfaction problems. So challenges aside, though, I get very excited about the future for telcos and the opportunities if they decide to aggressively pursue them. You think about you and I, our relationship historically with a telco. So 30 years ago, I'm from the States, and my parents and my grandparents actually leased a rotary phone, a phone that made sparks when you dialed it. Then they paid extra for touch tone and extra for voicemail. Fast forward to today's quad play, where I have through one provider a fixed landline, mobile phones for myself and my family, television services, broadband at home, wireless. These applications and services are coming to market much more quickly than they ever have. And they come and go over time. The one thing that's unique is me, the subscriber. I am the point of relationship and monetization for the telco, but they don't seem to get that. Right? They don't seem to understand that they're sitting on a vast array of very strategic personal data that they have from their customer base that they're not really leveraging. They typically go to market with a specific application, take an application-centric approach, not a customer-centric approach.
So you think the big opportunity in the near term is, as you say, taking a customer-centric approach. Do you see it moving beyond that? Because that's a sort of classic personalize your CRM, personalize your messages approach. Do you see it moving beyond that?
I do. One of the things I really appreciate with the World Economic Forum's work that they're doing is this white paper they released, I believe is early 2011, called Personal Data, the Emergence of a New Asset Class. They made some very bold claims about personal data being on par with capital and labor as an asset. You combine that with what we're seeing happen around the world with the crazy Facebook valuations and very high expectations on Facebook as a company, and what Google was doing. All these companies that have the promise of creating very great value to both the shareholders and their end users by leveraging data in real time to deliver very hyper-personalized services. I think the telcos have a role to play there, which are currently not doing today. So while, yes, part of this sounds like a very basic, how do we get our house in order to better deliver our existing services, more effectively do cross-selling and upselling, improve the customer experience, there's also a unique opportunity, I think, for the telcos to not only do all those things, but to really become a trusted identity broker on behalf of that user to other places that the user wants to receive services. One of the challenges that end users have in consumer internet is the proliferation of their identity and their secure credentials. Now, some users love their telcos, some tolerate their telcos, but their fact remains that the telcos have a lot of information about the user and have done a pretty good job historically keeping it safe and using it for proper purposes or purposes that the user's okay with. And so I personally would much rather have my telco also offer core identity services to other folks that I want to interact with instead of me proliferating in yet another place personal identifying data about me that they could just get from the telco.
So just to replay that, it's to start with the CRM, the personalization, improving the whole customer experience piece, and then moving on to the trusted identity service.
That's right. Yeah.
Steve, thanks very much. That's very interesting.
No, thank you.